I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. I'm going to show you a little trick. Something that you don't always think of when you're in the middle of a project, but it's a handy thing to know. Have you ever needed a mounting screw put in something that doesn't really take screws well? Say you want to put a fastener. You want to fasten this piece of metal to something else. I'm going to use this because it's quick, easy, and right here handy. That's a pretty ugly hole. How am I going to fasten anything into that? I mean, if I put a sheet metal screw in there, it's not going to hold. And sheet metal screws are notoriously bad for anything that vibrates or moves or has any real load on it. Polyanchors. Now, polyanchors were, in my estimation, originally designed to go into thin paneling and plasterboard. So you drop it into the hole, and the way I was taught to originally fasten them to the wall was to take a screwdriver, put it in there, and turn this until it expands and locks it in the hole. Well, there's not always something to hook it to. We have a solution for that. Rather than trying to reach around the backside of whatever you're trying to hook onto, because when you're working on a plasterboard situation, you're just not going to be able to do that. You can take a tool like this one. Funny little story. Guy that used to work for me when I was the maintenance manager down at Douglas Auto Tech in Bronson went to the White Star auction, and he bought a box of these things, handed them out to all the guys. He got them for next to nothing. It was a really nice gesture. One problem I have is this one is not very strong. If you try and pull too hard on it, it just pulls the screw on through and doesn't compress the part. Well, the other day I was going through one of the old junk toolboxes that I've got. Guess what I found? This tool is designed to do the same thing, but it is plenty strong enough to work very well. Now I have a threaded hole mounted in this thing, and it grips really, really tight. Quick and easy. You can do the same thing with a piece of plywood. I use this 1/4 inch just because it's handy. Now, to set the polyanchor in the plywood, rather than using a punch to just drive a hole through, I'm going to use a 21/64 drill bit. That's just a little bit smaller than the diameter of this fitting. So the polyanchor is going to go in there and it's going to lock in a little bit. I can quick and easily put a solid tapped hole into a piece of wood, piece of sheet metal, thin plastic, pretty much anything that you can clamp up with a polyanchor. And with this little device, it lets me anchor them from this side without trying to crank that screw down, which can be a real pain in the butt. Quite often you strip the head out of the screw. This just pulls it up snug, all good. If you run across one of these, snatch it up. It's a handy thing to have. If you have any suggestions for a new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching.